Welcome back, everybody, to Gulch, episode 18. And before we get into what we're doing in this episode, I do want to say a couple of things. First off, hopefully, you guys had a happy holidays and a happy new year. And for that reason, I actually haven't been uploading. Very recently. It's been a couple of weeks since I last uploaded Golden Gulch, Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, anything of that sort. And I finally got back into it. We took a little bit of a break, but now I do have a bunch of stuff ready to go. Some Planet Zoo is coming, so a lot of Golden Gulch is going to be coming, and actually maybe even a single roller coaster, and something that we haven't done really. We've done one episode, not really even an episode, just one video of No Limits. I haven't gotten into that yet. Haven't made another coaster, but if you guys have any suggestions on a coaster that you want me to do, I really like recreating coasters in that game. I think it's pretty fun to do that. And I recreated Firehawk, if you guys noticed, about a month or two ago. I recreated Firehawk and I uploaded that. So if you guys are into that, make sure to let me know what roller coasters you would like to see next on that. But that's besides the point. That's just kind of stuff that we've been doing. But it's been about 2 weeks, I would say, 3 weeks almost, since we've done a Golden Gulch episode. So that's what we're doing today, and I got a bunch of them lined up, as I said. So we're actually gonna be moving into the third area of this park today. We've done our village, we've done the Mexican area. Now we're moving into this kind of outback. I say outback 'cause that makes it sound Australian though, because they have the outback. So it's more just the rustic, not rustic. It's no trees. It's the true like desert and tumbleweeds and all that we're going for here. And I had an idea just for a little bit of a theme for the area, since each area kind of has a name. I didn't really know what to name this area. And then we have kind of cars. That's what we're putting in this today, is the car ride. We're doing an antique car ride, and that's just gonna be kind of driving around that little barren, yeah, that's what I meant, the barren area out there. So I was kind of thinking based on what that ride would be, and I was thinking we can name this area kind of like a year almost, when cars started to get a little bit more popular. And then of course, in our next couple of episodes, each area, as I said at the beginning of the series, would have a roller coaster and water ride, and that roller coaster could be themed to maybe a little bit of cars as well. Although the water ride would be a little bit hard to do with that. I think we could it can fit in this area at least. Um, so that's just kind of a little thinking I was thinking maybe, but that's just a little bit of kind of thought process for you guys. But right now we are working on this car ride, as I said already, and I still don't have a name for this. So hopefully, if you guys are good with names, so if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. But we have already made the layout so far. We've pretty deep into this episode already, but we have already made the layout for the ride, and now we're working on the station. And I don't really ride these at amusement parks. I'm really more about the roller coasters and a little bit of the high level or the high thrill rides. Not really car rides. I do them once in a while, but I don't really notice too much about them, like the operations and stuff, how much cars are each on a track and all that, and how long the track is. So I kind of gave it my best guess, and I didn't know how many cars to put on. I think in the end we have 12 cars. I didn't really want to go any more than that because I have a straight stretch coming into the station, and that's, you can see when we were building the roof for the station, it kind of juts out from the big um, pitched area. It kind of is a smaller pitched roof. So and then off of that we have a diagonal. So I wanted that to kind of end where the cars would be lined up in the beginning, and we're gonna be doing some decorating with that. We're gonna make a custom stop sign actually. So that's just a little bit of a little custom stuff coming in, but yeah, so 12 cars is what we got going on. We're gonna fully theme this. We're gonna fully do the queue. Everything for this ride is gonna be done today in this episode. So we're gonna be making a lot of progress. And if you guys didn't notice, the terrain is a little bit off from the other path that we have going next to the train ride. So it's a little bit elevated just to kind of give a little bit of a difference in pattern or difference in terrain, I guess. That's really the only reason why I wanted it to feel a little bit different from the park. That's probably one of the bigger things that amusement parks do, is getting that difference in terrain, because it makes the immersion just a little bit more there. So that's something that we did here, and then we're doing the queue right now. And something that I did is I kind of made this pergola thing. We just had a hard cut there, and it is complete. So it has that square pattern on the top. We're going to be doing a little bit of planting some rocks, and this is not going to be as lush as the Aztec area in the Mexican area. That's it's going to be way less. All they just wanted this queue to kind of be a little bit nicer. I figured this could be a like car company or a tours ride or something along the lines for that. Um, uh, and then throughout the ride, we're actually going to do the theming, and with that theming, we're pretty much going to use almost every Western piece in the game, except for the ones that we already used in the excavating tours and all that, the log flume and the mine train. So pretty much all of the Western pieces are going to be used in this ride, which is kind of crazy since there is a lot of Western. Western is probably one of the biggest developed themes in this game, I would say, besides maybe sci-fi or yeah, about I think those two are probably the biggest themes in this game. So it makes it a really big abundance of pieces, and that really helps out with what we're doing here. But now we are going to be doing a little bit of custom signing. So I made a stop sign here. It kind of is a little bit jank. The edges didn't really line up how I wanted it to, but I just made a 4-piece triangle and then doubled it a couple times, and we got this nice I want to say it's octagonal, but it's really not. It's kind of crazy. It is an octagon just with points coming out at each vertex. And I tried to find a sign that would be small enough, but there was no sign small enough. So it's just gonna be that red thing on both sides, the stop sign, and then from the roof it's gonna be hanging with the word stop on it. So that's just what we got going on here. And then that would be where the operators would come and walk the cars into the station, and then you can get off, and then they would bring it all the way up for new people to get on. So that's just kind of the idea behind that. And now we're going back to some more queue theming here. We got this nice weird tree going on. It almost looks like a cactus, I would say, and then that's going to be pretty much it for this queue. Now we are going to be moving on to finally steaming this ride. So we got a nice long fence going along the side um of the track here. That's just to kind of prevent people from walking into it and all that stuff. And it's going to go all the way down to the river. The little, yeah, I would say it's the river where the log flume and the train ride is. And then we're also going to be putting in this nice promotion billboard sign. You got to get the promotion in, and it's something that a lot of amusement parks will do. They have a bunch of signs around that will be promoting different things around the park. So that's something that we did here. Although this one's not going to be promoting anything, it's just going to be the Planko sign. And then along with that, we are going to be doing a bunch of other things. These things are going to include a bunch of scenery. Well, that's kind of obvious. We're going to be putting in some rock work. That's one of the trains. It's going to be like a statue, and we're going to be putting in like a little bit of shacks and like stuff, some camps, and that's all to come in the rest of this episode. I'm getting a little bit ahead of the video, but that's okay. We're going to go to a music session while we're doing all that, and I will be back very shortly. Alright, so we have done pretty much everything that we need to do in this episode. This ride is pretty much complete. We're putting down the train right now, and we have a couple more things to put down for the rest of the scenery. We're going to be doing a little bit cosmetic stuff, and then we'll be done. So, with that being said, we do have a couple more episodes for this part of the park. I'm anticipating maybe three more. Maybe just that's just an estimate. We might go less, we might go more. The roller coaster and the water ride will be up next week on Saturday. We're gonna be. I'll talk about that later on in next week's episode, actually, along with maybe some pathing problems that we might end up having. You guys will just have to wait and see what goes on with that. And as I said, I'm thinking this area is gonna be transportation based is a good overarching thing instead of just the cars because a water ride obviously can't be a car. A car can't float. So unless you get a floating car, but I don't think that was invented back when these new vintage cars were around. So keep that in mind. Just kind of in the back of your heads. Again, this ride still needs a name, and obviously the next two rides will need a name: the water ride and the roller coaster. I just need a name for this ride, and you guys have seen the creation. You guys can kind of see what's going on here. So if you guys have any good suggestions, let me know, or any suggestion, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to read them, and I'm really happy for the support. So, with that being said, we are pretty much at the end of this episode. We're doing last touches, and that would be it. So, as we are getting to the close, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Golden Gulch. We are back, and next week will be a nice video as well. We're doing another coaster. But until next week, thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to have an amazing day.